Fanatics. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. We are at three. So, yes, I'm super excited. I only have three more of these. It has been a beast. But coming in at number three is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is probably, I think my two biggest calls are probably the Pittsburgh Steelers being really good and the New Orleans Saints being really bad. So these are like kind of the hills I'm dying on. So if I if I can die on a hill that Tomlin's going to be good and Dennis Allen is going to be bad, I'll take those chances. Dennis Allen's never won more than 7 games, and Tomlin's never had a losing season. So I think I'll take those chances. So I want to make a comparison, and I think that it's a very good comparison, and I think Tomlin kind of sees this, and that's why he's being very, very aggressive this year. Tomlin, let me just go over the free agents before I start this. I'm going to show you how aggressive that he's being. They sign Allen Robinson, wide receiver. They sign the guard from Philadelphia, Samalo. They sign Holcomb from Washington. They sign Patrick Peterson from Minnesota. They sign Herbig, a guard from, I believe, Tennessee. They signed Roberts, Keanu Neal, Quan Alexander. He just goes crazy signing free agents. I want to make a comparison to the Philadelphia Eagles. This is what the Eagles do last year. They go get A.J. Brown. They get Hassan Reddick. They get Bradbury. They get Gardner Johnson. They get Sue. They get Joseph. And I think it's because both general managers and coaches see we have a window with our elite defense and our second-year quarterback with good receivers. And our schedule ain't crazy hard. So he's looking around the division. He says, oh, wow, they just gave Lamar a lot of money. That doesn't usually win Super Bowls. Like, oh, wow, Joe Burrow, about to get a lot of money. T. Higgins needs a contract. Jamar Chase needs a contract. Joe Mixon had to take less, bringing in a new tackle, make a lot of money. Hendrickson makes a lot of money. You got a lot of guys that got to make money on that team. You look at Cleveland. Oh, wow, they just gave Deshaun Watson a lot of money. They don't usually win Super Bowls. They'll win Super Bowls. I've already said it in the last podcast. Quarterbacks on their rookie deal, second year, third year. So let me make this comparison real fast. So I'm just going down this list. We have a quarterback picked in the top 2 rounds that people were kind of meh on last year. The year before, I mean. People aren't really talking about him, and all of a sudden has a good year. I don't know if you saw Kenny Pickett in preseason, but looks pretty good. The year before, you don't look really good at the beginning of the season, and then you go 7-2 down the stretch. That's the Eagles in 2021 and the Steelers in 2022. You got a second-year wide receiver that is making insane plays. That could be Devonta Smith and George Pickens. You got a guy that is 900 yards every single year, has made a Pro Bowl, and people still don't kind of put him in that elite class. Could be A.J. Brown, could be Deontay Johnson. You got a running back who was drafted really high. And you look at him because he's not exciting. He's not super exciting. But he gets about 900, 1,000 yards, total yards from scrimmage every year. That could be Najee Harris, and that could be Miles Sanders. You got a not sexy tight end, makes big catches. He's not the elite guys that you like, Mark Andrews, that like, wow, or Kelsey, wow. Could be Dallas Goedert, could be Freiermuth. You could have a guy that's kind of been written off, getting a little older. the team that he was on didn't really want him anymore, so they let him go. But he's still pretty good. Could be James Bradbury, could be Patrick Peterson. You got one of the elite safeties in the league. Could be Mika Fitzpatrick, could be Gardner Johnson. You got a pretty aging guy that people are he's just always good. Every single year on the D line, every single year, but he's kind of getting older, so people are like, what's the next new thing, like the new toy? Could be Cameron Hayward, could be Fletcher Cox. You have an amazing pass rusher. The most sacks in the league. Could be TJ Watt, could be Hassan Reddick. They're so comparable. And I kind of think that the Steelers see it. I think the Eagles kind of had a blueprint. The Eagles basically did it twice with Wentz and with Hurts. And the Bengals kind of did it. Two good receivers and a meh, or people like kind of Rudolph running back. Good pass rusher. Good safety. Bates, Fitzpatrick, Hendrickson, CJ Watt. It's there. I mean, we see it's right in front of us every single time, every single year, and I think Tomlin sees it. He's like, yeah, it's our window. It's let's take advantage of the last couple years of Hayward. Let's get TJ Watt in his prime. Let's get our vet corner in now, and we have our elite safety. We got our receivers on. We got one receiver on a rookie deal. We got a quarterback on a rookie deal. It's I was this close to having go to the Super Bowl. This close, but I don't. I got scared. No, I didn't get scared. I just think the Chiefs are really, really good, and they don't have that difficult of a schedule. But that's just, something to think about. Like, I don't know why people don't see it. It's literally the exact same thing that the Eagles did. They were 9-8. They won 7 of their last 9 games. They had a meh quarterback. Everybody kind of wrote off, but they saw something. They saw the receivers were really good. They saw their safety was really good. They brought in a vet cornerback. Got a really good pass rusher. Got a really good vet on the defensive line that's always been good. How do you not see it? A running back on the rookie deal. And not only a running back, but a kind of depth at running back. It's like the exact same roster. I know like Deontay Johnson and AJ Brown are different players, but I know people are like going to get after me like, oh, you're comparing Deontay Johnson to AJ Brown. AJ Brown wasn't that AJ Brown in Tennessee. He was that AJ Brown in Philly. So let's just start where we always start. Let's go to the O-line. They have them. PFF has them at 12th, which. Yeah, it's fine. It's more because they don't know. They got a new guard. They're bringing in a top 12 pick, I think, off the tackle. Their first round pick. I can't remember what I guess it's probably 16th or 17th since they were 9-8. And then, the new guard. So they rebuilt their offensive line a little bit. They got the guard from Philly, who's pretty good. And they're 12th. The D line's 5th. Sure. That's fine. Top 5. Sure. And then their secondary is 18th. Kind of did that with the Eagles last year, and then they both made Pro Bowls. So everybody kind of wrote Bradbury off. They're like, the Giants didn't want him. They're like, here, Eagles, take him. Here, division rival, here, take him. And then he made All-Pro. So, 18th. They ranked Fitzpatrick as the second best safety in the league. So 18th best. All right, sure, whatever. Let's go down there. I already gave you their additions. They only lost Cam Sutton. It's Cam Sutton, Brown, and Patrick Peterson. Whatever. That's the only guy that of any note that they lost, honestly. And they brought in Keanu Neal for strong safety. They brought in Peterson. They drafted Joey Porter Jr. I actually kind of wanted him for the Panthers. I'm glad we got Mingo, but I was interested in him for the Panthers. So they got draft, they got offensive tackle Broderick Jones, who was one of the best tackles in the class. I think he went number 2 or 3 behind the Northwestern kid. And got Washington, who's a tight end. Oh, Darnell Washington, tight end, who kind of fell. He was supposed to. People thinking about him as the number one guy, but he kind of fell. I think that might have been like more of you know best guy available kind of thing because that their team's pretty loaded. And then they got Herbig, which is good. I don't know if people have been showing you, but he is a good pass rusher. He's going to play a lot this year, and he is very, 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 very good. And they got him. They stole him in the 4th round. So excellent draft. If you look at it against the Eagles, they basically replacing their guys. I mean, they took a need at tackle, but Porter Jr. probably going to replace Peterson. They got a defensive lineman probably going to replace Hayward when he finally just decides to retire. Yeah, so they're kind of doing a little bit what the Eagles are doing. They're getting guys like a year early to kind of replace their older guys, which kind of to learn from their older guys, learn the system, and see who's smart. Let's go down what they did last year. They played at Bengals and they won. And I'm going to give you the Trubisky era, and then I'm going to give you the Pickett era. So with Trubisky, they win 23-20 in that weird game where Bengals had both teams had 5 missed field goals or something like that. They lose at home against the Patriots. They lose at Browns. They lose to the Jets. They lose at Bills. I'm not giving you scores because it's Trubisky era and it doesn't really matter. They beat the Bucs 20-18, and then they put in the big gun or the little gun or whatever you want to call him, Kenny Pickett, and they make him go on the road. His first 2 games. Thanks Tomlin. So they lose the Dolphins at Dolphins 16-10. They lose at Eagles 35-13. They beat the vaunted Saints defense in Kenny Pickett's 3rd start, 20-10. Puts up 20 points against that great that great Saints defense. He had put it up 10 against the Dolphins and 13 against the Eagles, but that really great Saints defense, they put up 20 and they win. The Bengals, they lost 37-30. Wow, he put up 30 points. At Colts, they win 24-17. At Falcons, they win 19-16. They lose the Ravens 16-14. They went at Panthers. Man, they were just more physical than we were. 24-16. They win at home against the Raiders, which basically got Derek Carr. You're done because you only put up 13 points or 10 points, and they beat them 13-10. Man, Derek Carr only put up 10 points. I thought he was really, really good. Insane. They win at the Ravens 16-13, and then they win home against the Browns 28-14. So their last 9, he goes 7-2, which is what Jalen Hurts did the year before they went to the Super Bowl. All right, so now we'll give you this year. So I have San Francisco at home. I think that's a win. Brock Purdy just came back and started working within the system after his recovery. Also, that offensive line is bad without Trent Williams. And they're just Watt doesn't even line up on the right side very often. He's almost always on the left side or within the right tackle. So that defensive line is going to get to Purdy, and those linebackers and that safety is real good. So they ain't gonna be able to run the ball, and they ain't gonna have time to pass the ball. So we'll see. But I don't think San Francisco's going to Pittsburgh first game of the season. Tomlin it's kind of like going to Bill Belichick. It's just, I mean, they went to the Bengals and beat them the first game last year. Tomlin is usually has the team pretty ready to play game 1. So I have that as a win. Then you got Cleveland on Monday Night Football at home. I have as a win. You go to Vegas. I have as a win. You go to Houston. I have as a win. Get Baltimore at home. I have that as a win. You have your bye, and then you go to the Rams. I might have kind of like thought about that for a second, but because it's at Rams, but it's right after your bye, so I have you winning that one. You're at home against Jacksonville, which I have as a win. You are Thursday Night Football at home against Tennessee. That would have been another one that I would be like a little bit iffy on, but Tennessee comes to you on a short week, so I have that as a win. Uh, you have Green Bay at home. Their strength is going to be the run game. Your defensive line is fifth in the league. You can stop the run. I have that as a win. Then you finally go to Cincinnati. No, you go to Cleveland. I have a loss because Cleveland always gives you a hard time. You lost to them last year. I mean, that division pretty much always goes 3-3, so I just have them going 3-3 in the division. They haven't been less than 3-3 in the division in a very, very long time. But I think they're going to go. They probably go better than 3-3. I'm just going to give them 3-3 because that division's always up in the air. Then you're at Cincinnati, road. You get division game at their place. I have Cincinnati beating you. So that's a loss. Arizona at home, easy win. New England at home on Thursday night. I would have thought about that, but they travel short week. I have that as a win. Then you're at Indy. I have that as a win. You have a Saturday game at home against Cincinnati. Short week. You're at home. You split with Cincinnati. I have you winning that. And then you're at Seattle. I think that Seattle is desperate and they have to get in the playoffs. They have to win this game. So I have that as a loss. And then road. You really need to win it because you have to compete with KC for the number one spot. But Baltimore also needs that. And you're going on the road 2 games in a row. Your last 3 are Cincinnati, Seattle away, and Baltimore away. I just have it as a loss. I don't think you can sweep them, and I also don't think you can go on the road twice and win. So you can, but it'd be very difficult, especially with both of those playing for their playoff lives. Actually, all 3 of those have been playing for their playoff lives. So I have the Steelers going 13-4, and I might be low. I mean, they got so much help with the schedule. You get San Fran early at home. Then you have Cleveland early. I mean, Watson looks terrible right now. I don't think if he starts playing good at all, I don't think it's going to be till later on in the season. So you got home. The kind of mediocre to bad teams that you're playing are all on the road. So you don't get the harder team. All the harder teams theoretically are at your place. So you're at Vegas, at Houston, and then you go home again to Baltimore. So you get a good team at home, and then you get a bye. And I have LA. I know I did LA earlier, but I'm starting to come around on the Rams. So I think I have them like a 7-win team now. But you get them after the bye, so I can get a win there. Then you get Jacksonville at home, you get Tennessee at home, you get Green Bay at home. And then your road games, you have your division ones, and then you only have Indy on the road. Home Arizona, home New England, home Cincinnati, and then at Baltimore, at Seattle. We've already wrapped up the division at that point, and these guys are just playing for playoff spots. And it's just kind of wild to me that they were 9-8 last year. Once Kenny Pickett came in, they were 8-3. Yeah, 8. No, 7. Yeah, 7-3. Sorry, 7-4. 7-4. Who cares? They were really good when Pickett came in. So I don't see why, because it's not like they played like awful teams. I mean, they did. The Saints are awful. The Saints are really, really, really bad, and they got a really, really bad quarterback. So you win against the Saints and you win against the Raiders. So 2 really, really, really bad teams. So I guess those are easy. But yeah, Falcons are 7-10 last year. You went at Falcons. You went at Ravens. You went at Panthers, and Panthers were really good down the stretch. They had just come off a win against the Lions, I believe, right when you played them, and Seattle at Seattle. So I mean, you won some good games. Yeah. So and you got like really lucky with the schedule. So they're projected their over under is 8.5. 8.5. Tomlin's never had a losing season ever. This goes back to 2007. Tomlin in his career is 10-6, 12-4, 9-7, 12-4, 8-8, 8-8, 11-5, 10-6, 11-5, 13-3, 9-6-1, 8-8, 9-7-1, 9-8. So he starts to fall off at the end of the Roethlisberger years because Roethlisberger just kind of played too long, and then it was kind of like he was out a lot. Rudolph was in, and they put like Dobbs had to come in, I think, a couple times. It was a really weird era, but he still always won games. So you theoretically get all these guys in, get better, get an easier schedule, and you're gonna be under 8.5 wins. Your first losing season ever. Okay, all right. I think that's one of the easy. I think the the Pats over 6.5, the Steelers over 8.5, and the Saints under 9.5. Because basically Vegas is saying, yeah, Dennis Allen's never won more than 7 games in a season. 9.5. Bill Belichick hasn't lost under 6.5 wins since like 2000. 23 years. Yeah, this will be the year. Yeah, first for everybody. Tomlin since 2007. Tomlin hasn't had a losing season. This is the first time. Yeah, so all these new things happen. Derek Carr is suddenly a good player. He's made the playoffs once, and they're like the runaway favorite to win the division. He's never won a division. It's like, yeah, they're going to win the division. Literally the oldest team in the league. They're going to win the division. Tomlin sees what he has. He says, "Yeah, let's go for it this year." They're like, "Yeah, 8.5 wins. Probably, yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah, I think that." Yeah, so let me go PFF. Yeah, PFF. You have the fifth best defensive lineman in the league in Hayward. You have the fourth best uh, pass rusher in the league in TJ Watt, and you have the second best safety in the league in Mika Fitzpatrick. 8.5 wins. Yeah, that's. I mean, that's. I don't know. I mean, I can't go much further along with that, but look what the Eagles were 2 years ago, and look where the Steelers are at this year. And they played in a good division last year, but they got really lucky with their schedule. And I don't even know if it's luck. I mean, they might have just given them this good schedule, but it's a really good schedule. All their bad teams on the road, and all the good teams are at home. So yeah, they got a bunch of vets, a bunch of guys that have been there. I mean, Keanu Neal and Quan Alexander, we used to see a lot. Allen Robinson's a vet; he wants to win something. Patrick Peterson definitely wants to win something. These guys, I mean, it kind of reminds me. I mean, I'm going to get to Dallas, but kind of reminds me of Dallas. Brandon Cooks wants to win. Stephon Gilmore wants to win something. They ain't got much time left. They're gonna push it this year. So I have the Steelers at 3. I wish I could have them higher, but I can't just. I gotta stay. I gotta go by my logic, and I think that the Chiefs are just so. They won the Super Bowl in a rebuilding year last year. They're just so good. They're so good. And I mean, you know who's left. I mean, there's 2 teams left. But yeah, that's all I got. So yeah, I have the Steelers at 13-4. I have them 2 in the AFC, and I have them in the AFC Championship game. Of course, losing to the Chiefs because they will be 2 or 1 maybe. So thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, do all that nonsense, and bye.